Yeah, I know. This is probably by far one of the worst versions of Minecraft. But the truth is, as a child, I grew up with this version of Minecraft, which happens to be the worst version of Minecraft to this day, according to the big YouTubers on the platform called YouTube. But Bedrock has a special place in my heart. And I'm gonna be frank with you, I'm not playing this version solely because of nostalgia, but because of another reason, and I'll get into that very soon. Now, I'm going to, before I get into anything or start yapping, I'm gonna show off my world a bit and show you guys what I have done. Sorry if you hear the noise of if you hear the keyboard noise and stuff like that, I can't really help it that much. Especially while I'm speaking. If I'm not speaking, you guys won't hear any of it. In any case, this is my house, as you have already probably seen, but this is what it looks like from the front, and I'll show you guys what it looks like from the back. I'll get into that later. Doesn't look so good, but if I fix it up a bit and replace some of the sand here with dirt, it has a lot of potential. Oh, that's a spider. Jumped into the water. Okay, nice. There are some things that are kind of cool about this building. For instance, my furnaces are down here. I don't know. I mean, the reason as to why I placed it there is fairly practical, but it just kind of looks kind of whimsical when it's on the floor. In these chests, I know, your boy has that money, you know, I got that swag. And when it comes to these two chests, yeah, I haven't really categorized them, but these are basically blocks that I kind of won't use for buildings. These are blocks that I use for buildings. That's how I categorize them, but I am probably gonna make some sort of storage house later on. This right here is my bedroom. I'm gonna do stuff with it later. I just built this today, but I don't have any wheat, and I need sheeps, cows, and pigs. And I will be doing that today. There's a sheep, but I'll need to make a wheat farm first. Perhaps even potato. I was thinking that I'm gonna build it right next to my animal farm because, well, it's supposed to be a farm theme. It would make sense. Yeah, here, let me show you guys the chickens. They're all the way back here. There's a little cozy spot here. Now, as I build this farm, I want to talk about why I'm playing this version. And no, it's not nostalgia. Sure, I grew up with Bedrock, and a lot of the features, I recall a lot of these features. For example, zombies, when they spawn with armor, usually they spawn with gold armor. Oh, I just heard one below me. Whenever you kill them, they drop everything. As you can see right there, there's I killed a zombie before, and they drop armor. They drop all of their armor, and they're in good condition as well. As you can see, it's usually they're always green. I have yet to see one that's about to break. And if you play Java, even older versions, I think in most cases, even if they do drop armor, the mobs that is, they're useless. You can't even use them. But in this version, which most of you, if you ever have played this version, you have probably played the Pocket Edition. I'm assuming, because, oh no, I just feel like there would be no reason to play Bedrock on your PC. I mean, there is one reason. If you have a potato computer, Bedrock is far more optimized. So I suppose that would make sense. But yeah, what was I talking about again? Yeah, right. The reason why I played this game, why I'm playing this version, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, it's not any secret that most people believe that Bedrock is basically the version of Minecraft that's most accessible, but it's also not the best. And a lot of people, as soon as you start talking about Bedrock, they'll just start cooming all over your face, you know, sometimes literally. You know, they'll just assault you without your consent. Trust me, I have been there. It has happened to me many times, you know. and it wasn't a pleasant experience. You know, defending Bedrock is not easy, bro. I feel like people they just exaggerate things, because when it comes to Bedrock, it's not that far away from becoming as good as Java. I'd even argue maybe even better. It's not that far away from it, you know? Yeah, sure, you can't dual wield. A lot of the features are gone. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this version of Minecraft, specifically 0.14.0. I don't remember what of Bedrock, it's really bad. It's even worse than the newer versions of Bedrock. But that's why I'm playing it, and it's not okay. How do I the only way that I can explain this is if I use the metaphor of playing a bad character in a hero shooter game. Like for example, let's say Apex Legends. Rampart, I know none of you have ever played that game, but let's use that character as an example, is one of the worst characters in the game. Why did I not take those planks with me? I'll probably need these. I have 10 iron. That's gonna be enough for a hoe. That's good. Yeah, a lot of people know who played that game, Apex Legends, know that Rampart is, well, back in the day she was bad. I don't know now. I don't really have a great eye on the meta right now. But she wasn't a good character, but in some specific conditions, let's say, she could have been incredibly good, and on the right hands, she was, you know, quite literally a pretty good character. You know, some people might even call it a sleeper pick. That's the only metaphor that I can use to explain as to why I'm playing this version of the game, and that's really it. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's really the only reason. And as we keep on playing, and hopefully as you keep on watching, you'll see why I'm using that metaphor specifically. I just beat your ass and you're coming back to me, bro? Alright, you made a fucking mistake. Oh yeah, sheeps in this version of the game, they only drop wool. They don't drop, I don't know what that type of meat was called specifically. Lamb? I don't know. It doesn't drop that. It only gives you wool. Kind of like the beta versions of Java Minecraft. 4, 5, 6. Alright, I'm gonna stop yapping, because I'm not very good at yapping and building at the same time. So. Can't even get the dick dripping. Can't post news on my Instagram, but these booty killers be snitching. Everybody acting suspicious. Might even say that I'm tripping. When I'm all alone with my dildo, I tend to get the dick dripping. I suck dick and I'm proud. I might suck a midget, and I'ma suck all this pain away, 'cause that's the only thing that's gonna help it. I don't understand these women who go around pretending. I'm gonna see how much dirt I have in my chest, and then that's roughly the lay. I'm thinking about doing something circular. Kind of goes back to the animal farm in a way. Yeah. This might end up looking very bad, but that's okay. Gonna go get some dirt, because I wanted to have that classic look. Well, somewhat. It's at least gonna be inspired by it, but it's not gonna be exactly like that. You know, that classic villager farm. I think they only use oak wood, but I don't know if I want to do that, because that's a little too basic. I think I might use cobblestone or just normal oak wood instead. Plus, I haven't used any cobblestone on this farm, so I think it would make more sense with cobblestone. With planks. It would just fit better. But we'll see.
I used to rap about playing with my penis. Now I got some soft up and I feel like
Now, in case if you're wondering, the reason as to why I grew up with Minecraft Pocket Edition or Bedrock, and later on Legacy Edition, I believe is what it's called, which later on became Bedrock again. I don't remember when that happened. I think it was back in 2018 when the Legacy Edition wasn't even a thing anymore. It just became Bedrock. I don't recall it very well, but in any case, I grew up with those versions because I wasn't able to afford a PC. I'm a little Middle Eastern fella, as you maybe have been able to tell already. I'm not sure if I've been able to copy the American accent that well, but you know, your boy is trying. Yeah, and usually there were these websites that gave you the game for free, and I downloaded it on my phone. I probably got some sort of malware, you know, honestly I wouldn't be surprised, but these versions of the game were the ones that I was most used to. It's kind of insane to me how Bedrock became a thing earlier on your phone compared to console, because I remember having my PS4 and I was on the Legacy Edition or whatever it's called for quite a while. Holy shit. And then all of a sudden it became a second option, the Legacy Edition, that is. In other words, it was your choice to go back to it, but it was no longer getting updates. So you had the choice of switching between Legacy and Bedrock Edition. And it's actually kind of insane that it took them that long, because you naturally assume that consoles, that they were better in terms of how capable they are at running games. All right, we're gonna get some cobblestone. Only have a stack. We might need to go to the mines, and I think I'm gonna use cobblestone, honestly. It's not that much of a contrast. I think it still fits. The issue is though that I don't have a lot of cobblestone. Something else that you might have noticed about this version is how small the blocks look in your what is it called again? Inventory tab? No, that's not what it's called. I'm not sure. You know, where you see the items down here. You'll see that the blocks look a lot smaller compared to the Java edition. Quite interesting. I remember that being an aspect of Bedrock on my cellular device. No, that's cringe. I remember that being a thing on my phone as well. But the inventory did not look like this. And by the way, this isn't the oldest version that you're able to afford. I'll try to send a link on where I got this old version of Minecraft Bedrock. This isn't the only one that you can afford, but if you try to download the very incredibly old ones, you won't be able to download it. It just says download failed. I think that's because the developers themselves didn't want us to have that option, which is tragic, but that's okay. But I would be willing to guess that the inventory wouldn't look like this. I'll show an image of how the inventory looks on the earlier versions of Bedrock, or Pocket Edition, or whatever you want to call it. It looks very different. This looks more like Java. Now, for the 32 people who watch my content, I usually do Apex Legends videos. This is very unusual, but you know, everyone has two sides, I suppose, and I have a side of me that doesn't like FPS games. At times, this comes a point where it kind of becomes annoying. I think I might still upload Apex content, but maybe not as frequent. The style of content, I'm still gonna borrow a lot of the elements that I have been doing thus far, and that is my thumbnails. I will probably use that same style for this video as well. I can't let that style go. It's too good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or wait. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I'm using 6 blocks as the standard distance, but oh yeah, that structure over there, we'll get into that as well. Now, something that really sucks about this version is that there is no way to really activate your coordinates. I don't even think it's possible. So you have to be whenever you find something or some sort of structure that you want to recall, it is best to make some sort of building, which I like. I like that aspect of Minecraft. I feel like coordinates make things a lot easier. And whenever you don't have that, you'll be forced to use other means of finding things. I think that's a lot better, you know? But for someone like me, who has been living in the same city for years and still doesn't know where certain places are, well, I know where they are somewhat instinctively or intuitively, but you know, if you're not very good at, you know, directions, this can make things difficult in a unique way, and I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I have to be careful whenever I'm exploring, because I know there's a chance that I might lose everything, even my base. Oh, my coffee's getting cold. Gulp. And this side. By the way, I hope I said that word correctly, but I really like this block. I don't know if they still exist in the modern version. Yeah, they probably do, but their textures are different. And I love this texture. It just looks so good, in my opinion. Especially if you're using it for texturing and stuff like that. Like, look at how well it fits in with other cobblestone like blocks. It's very underrated in my opinion. Shout out to Andestite, man. Actually, I think I'm gonna do a bit of planning here as well. So I think what I was trying to do when I was thinking with my 2 cell of a brain, I could make it 1 level lower and maybe connect it here. Like, if you know what I'm not really connected, but you understand. I have heard a lot of people say that Bedrock's water doesn't look as good as Java's. I never really understood that, because I actually think that the Bedrock water looks a lot better, but that's just my humble opinion. Just as a bit more of a turquoise, I think that's what the color is called, but it has that very unique color on Bedrock. And I'm speaking about the modern versions strictly. I don't know about the older versions, because I still enjoy the new versions of Minecraft, but there are so many features to the point where it becomes tiring in a way, and that's the main reason why I have stopped playing. Oh crap, god damn it, stopped playing the newer versions. I haven't really been able to keep up with stuff, so I'm just thinking, in many ways, just better to... A lot of the things that you can do on the new versions, you can still do it on the older versions. It's just that the only... God damn, this rain is loud. Does it change anything? Yeah. The only thing that really differentiates it in terms of how enjoyable they are is that the newer versions give you things to do, while in these versions you kind of have to do things yourself in order to make it enjoyable, you know? And I think that applies to both Bedrock and Java, you know? Shouldn't really expect a game to mouth feed you, especially not a game like Minecraft. You know, when I was a kid and I was building stuff on my potato ass phone, I always had these imaginary people in my head which never really existed. I'm kind of reminded of that meme when you're making a secret underground basement where you hide all of your diamonds and stuff even though you're playing alone. I'm kind of reminded of that meme. But, you know, that's how I was thinking back in the day. I was thinking, oh, the people that don't even exist are gonna go to this tavern. They're gonna eat the bread that I have put in the chest. This is supposed to be a market, yada yada. Those people didn't even exist, you know? And I knew that even as a kid. But I still think that way to this day. I use... you know, I just try to get in touch, and that kind of sounds corny, but it's really true. I tried to get in touch with that aspect of myself, so to speak. Albeit slightly more capable. Not gonna lie, I'm still terrible at building, but man, as a kid I was ass. I think even ass is not good enough of a word to describe it. I was goddamn terrible. For fuck's sake. I like these slabs because they give the illusion of looking like pieces of stone, kind of, if that makes any sense. I like that. I can probably take... Nah, fuck it. Right, now we just need to craft a... Or actually, let's go to sleep first. Oh, where's the audio? Oh, right, I decreased the audio. I'm lucky that wasn't the creeper. To kind of put things into perspective, I think this version of the game came out back in 2016. So this is a fairly new version. But I do feel some nostalgia for this because I think I was... How old was I back in 2016? I think I was around 10 years old or something like that. I believe I was very young. And that's... I think I did play earlier than that. It was basically back then when I got into the game, I think. Did this really come out back in 2016? Well, I'm too lazy to research it. If any... Well, the future me will know. But yeah, a lot of these features are... they're not really that old. Like, it's nothing to be too nostalgic about. No, it still is. The villages are nostalgic worthy. But you know, it's not like alpha Minecraft. It's not that old. I have 4 stacks. God damn. Oh, they don't make any noise when you place them down. That's kind of weird. Let me put up the audio. Yeah, maybe now they work. They don't make any noise. Kind of odd, but interesting. That's another thing that's different, I suppose. Yeah, something else that I've noticed with this version is that, and oh, that's a little too loud. God damn. Something else that I've noticed with this version is that mobs don't ever despawn, man. I swear. Let them... oh yeah, something else is that these creepers still do quite a lot of damage. Whoa, why am I burning? Oh yeah, right. Because it was on fire. Yeah, I think this was something that was unique to Bedrock. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think that was a thing on Java. When skeletons got on fire, they'd also set you on fire with their bow. Don't think that was a part of Java. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. I think I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I just feel like... I don't know. Well, let me know. Let me know, guys. And let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, like and subscribe, guys. Or don't. I actually don't like asking people to like and subscribe. But if you've been watching this far, I'd assume you like what you see. Or maybe not. Maybe you're a little pathetic hater, you know? It's time to get down to it down here. What I was thinking, however, is that I'm not going to only use... It's dog shit, but it's my dog shit, you know? Kind of like what they say in those movies. This is for getting us killed, and this is for saving us. And then they give him a smooch. I don't know why I thought about that, but I felt like it was relevant in that moment. Honestly, not bad. Not bad. Also, let me know what you guys think about the style of thumbnail that I use. Should I keep it if I continue with this style of video? I think Sure, it's kind of it's kind of exaggerated, but I like it. It's very unique. The YouTuber that I got inspired by is his name is Stimpy. He makes Rust videos. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that he does in his videos, I have just straight up quote unquote gone inspired by them, aka have just copied it. It's not like his entire idea that I have copied, but just certain style choices. In any case, yeah, he makes Rust videos, DayZ videos, and I don't play any of those games, but usually his games are about quote unquote trolling people, but not really. He's not just trolling them, he's making friends and then betrays them. And I love those type of videos. And now when it comes to playing them, I have never been a big fan. Actually, one of my friends bought it for me as a birthday present, and the poor guy, I never really played with them at all. I just do not like Rust. In any case, we're gonna place another dirt block right there. Something else that was really interesting with this version is that the sensitivity was incredibly high, and I had no way of really changing it, because I'll show you guys. I'll just go to sleep for a second. Again, I want to speak about stuff like this because I feel like maybe at least one of you might consider playing this version of the game. You're somewhat nostalgic about Bedrock, perhaps. Anyways, if you look at here, and it doesn't have any options for let me just look in case there's any creepers behind me. Nope, there's none. It doesn't have any options for people who are on mouse and keyboard, even though it has like keyboard layout as an option, but I couldn't find anywhere to change sensitivity. Now you can decrease this right here where it says sensitivity, but really that only applies to controller players, I think. Because yeah, by the way, you can play on controller as well if you want, and some aspects of it is better, and we will speak about that either today or another episode if I do decide to continue with this series. And anyways, it doesn't really decrease it, I have noticed. I think the only way to really fix it is to change the DPI of your mouse or mice. I think that's what they call it nowadays. Otherwise, yeah, you'll get used to it eventually. It's not that big of a deal, but it was kind of annoying. I wonder how it's gonna look once the wheat below the main one is fully grown. I don't know if I should put down any fences. I don't know if it's gonna look worse. I don't know, I feel like it's not gonna look aesthetically pleasing. Nah, honestly, I think I'm fine for the most part, because mobs don't really jump, but I have to consider the fact that if they do go down like this, they might break some of them. I think I might have to place down some fences. Man, I remember seeing this video out Minecraft beta, and like it takes forever for fence to be destroyed. Was it fences or was it stairs? I think it was fences as well. So you have to be very careful in those versions. Actually, don't. You know what? Screw the whole fence idea. I don't think it... I'll choose aesthetics over safety. Yeah, I also miss how the old wheat looks. Honestly, in my opinion, it's way better than how the new ones look. But to be fair though, it doesn't make any sense how the wheat in these older versions have like a greenish, yellowish color. Because I think in real life, they also have to be like light brown before you farm them up. I don't know. This look is just so iconic and so good. And in my case, I honestly think it just fits better with the rest of my with the grass that I have placed down. So yeah. Well, that's the wheat farm finished. That's great. I think we'll now have to... Do I have anything else to showcase here? And I don't think I want to. I think the video was basically complete in terms of my ramblings. But there is one thing that I want to show you guys. And that is the mob spawner over there. As I've said before, there are no coordinates in this version of the game. By the way, this is the path. I like creating paths for some reason. Coordinates anyways, they don't exist. So you have to kind of mark down where places are. And I have decided to build this temporary thing, but I'm planning on turning it into some sort of tower, maybe. It's not gonna have any practical use other than me finding where the spawner is. Anyways, let's just get into the spawner real quick. I have to be somewhat careful because a lot of them can spawn, and we all know how mobs spawn in Bedrock. In many ways it's better than Java, and many other ways worse. Again, I have heard people critiquing how mobs spawn in Bedrock. Because, yeah, as I said, like, man, things don't despawn in this game. Oh, God. Let's just use some fire. I know, like, I can't really... I don't have any use for this spawner here. I can't even make a gold farm. Because in the newer versions, if you decide to burn down your gold armor, let's say... you get a golden ingot, but you can't do that on these versions. It's kind of tragic because the first thing that I thought of, oh, since mobs, especially zombies, whenever you kill them, they spawn with gold, you can probably make some sort of gold farm, but you can't do that. Something else that is interesting is that in this version specifically, I think in Bedrock in general, I remember this being a thing on my phone as well, is that you have to place down a lot more, a lot of torches. But in Java, as soon as you place down one torch and it's slightly lit up, I don't think they spawn anymore. But yeah, I just want to show this is the fact that I can't oh, 2 baby zombies in a row. Oh shit, this is bad. Okay, I'm lucky that this is the Bedrock version, because since this is also the Pocket Edition, mobs are not as dangerous because they're a lot slower. Specifically because, you know, this is made for mobile players as well, and it's a lot harder for them to kill mobs, you know? So it is watered down a lot more. But yeah, the only thing that this is useful for is some sort of XP farm. But honestly, I don't even know if I want to do that. Like, whenever I need XP, I'll just let them spawn and I'll just kill them like this. I don't know. It's just more whimsical that way. But I might create a farm. I'm not really a big fan of automating things in Minecraft, because I think that just makes things boring. I think it's just... Not always. You know, obviously I like to experiment with redstone eventually, because redstone... I can't speak today for some reason. For some reason, again, I keep on saying that word for some reason. Anyways, but you have to try out new things, even if you're not a redstone oh shit, I might die here. Even if you're not a redstone user, you'll have to... Oh, whoa, 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 I'm joking. Calm down, bro. Shit. Yeah, I am definitely going to use redstone and try to automate some aspects of the game. But that's the downside with redstone. Once you automate certain things, the game becomes a little boring, in my opinion. Because you don't have to put as much effort, and that can make it boring. But when I might actually need a XP farm if I'm doing some sort of very big project in the far future, so maybe then I'll consider making some sort of farm. Yeah, is that what they're called? Yeah, farm. Zombie farm. Sorry, I mean XP farm. But I don't know, I'll see. And also, this zombie has chased me all the way up here. Anyways, if you have come this far, if you Jesus, if you have watched this far into the video, thank you for watching. And like if you like the video. If you don't, hit that dislike button, and I'll maybe see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I'll have some sort of outro. I'll have to think some sort of old outro. No, I'll just use my old outros that I use from my other Apex Legends.
You can go in my jaw, grab them balls, stroke that BBC. Put my hair in a bun, that is what I learned when sucking that dirty black dong. Stop and grab the strong and play